everyone, and welcome to the show, The Coach's Couch. I'm your host, Negat Harun, and let's begin the show with a quote. If I'm not for myself, who will be for me? But if I am only for myself, what am I? And if not now, when? Hillel the Elder. Today, I'm bringing some amazing guests from India. Our host story is also like scaling up his journey from small town Ajmer boy to a successful entrepreneur in Mumbai. Let's welcome Rohit to our show. Rohit, tell our audience more about yourself. And can you share about your journey, where you are today?
Thanks, Nikki. Thank you for inviting me. It was quite an inspiring quote that you started off the journey with. Um, about me, I am Rohitashwa. I come from a small town, Ajmer in Rajasthan, which is famous for the Dargah of Moinuddin
Just the
Chishti. Yeah. From there, I kind of prepared for my joint entrance examination and came to IIT Bombay. I studied chemical engineering here for about 4 years. And since then, pretty much I have been in Mumbai. I worked in Procter& Gamble for 3 years, set up a complete plant for them, end-to-end manufacturing and packaging plant. Got my fill there and then moved on to education sector way back in 2010. Since the last 12 years, I've been part of education sector across multiple companies, small and big. I also started up my own company in 2012, which was 10 years ago, ran that for 2 years across two business ideas before joining hands with Toppr, since where I've been for the last 8 years now. So quite an exhilarating journey for me. On a personal front, I've got my wife and kid with me in Mumbai. I like to travel a lot. I like to hike a lot. I'm a fitness freak. In particular, I also like to mentor and coach people, and that is how I have become a business coach over the last 3-4 years by coaching as a hobby, coaching as a profession. I've taken up everything, and yeah, that has been my journey so far.
Mhm. So amazing to hear about it, and what a roller coaster you have in your life. How has your story shaped the way you are today?
Okay, so see, there have been a few pivotal points in my journey.
Mm.
One of them was during my days of A&B Education, the startup that I co-founded way back in 2012. I ran that for 2 years. Starting up is a leap of faith. It
Mm.
requires a lot of courage, and it requires a lot of effort and strength to bring an idea to life and take it to people, and get it to be a revenue generating company. At that point of time, you need funds, you need advice, you need a lot more things that can't be just put on a call or put in a document, right?
Yeah.
Funds were very easily available. We Thanks for the community around, we got funding as well as loans whenever we asked for it. Sometimes there were days when loans were transferred to us at a day's notice, right? Literally at a day's notice. We asked for it one day and the next day funds were there in our accounts, right? Because people had faith in us, because people had uh, understanding of the kind of work that we were doing. So those were good times. But what was rarely available, what was scantily available, was the right advice, the right direction to seek, right? So there are times when there are very few people who can put things in perspective. You are faced with multiple business challenges, right? For example, there was a time when we were wondering that the product that we had made for schools, whether we should give it out for free or
Mm-hmm.
whether we should charge the schools for it, right? There assumed to be no easy way out, but one of the mentors that I talked to, and he knew about me, he knew about our background completely, and he was like, "Why don't you start with a free trial?" Right? In a retrospect, it looks like a very simple decision to take, yeah, simple offering to make, but uh, you know his take was very simple. He was like, see, if they don't take the product after free trial, you know that you have to improve the product, and if they take the product after free trial, you know that you're on the right track, right? It was as simple as that. So the initial barrier to consumption was removed. We were able to monetize our clients. We were able to onboard close to like 25, 30 schools onto our platform, and that was a big deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
So insights like these, which encompass the market, which encompass your product, which encompass you in particular, because there's a very big element of how you want to take the product to the market, right? That is available uh, from proper coaches and mentors in your life, and
Mm-hmm.
that is what started happening with me about 3 years ago, right? So people started reaching out to me, and I was happy to be a mentor, be a coach, be a guide to them in their difficult times, and that is how my journey as a business coach has evolved.
Yeah. I'm glad that you had received such an advices from such mentors, and now you're helping the community back. So long, how long you have been a business coach?
About 3 years now,
Mm-hmm.
actively pursuing business coaching from 6 months, but overall
Mm-hmm.
3 odd years now.
Nice. So, what is the role of a business coach?
So business coach, or for that matter, any coach, see, the
Mm-hmm.
primary purpose is to unlock your true potential,
Yeah.
right? You have a lot of capabilities in you, to bring them to surface, to make sure that you are using your capabilities and skills to the full extent. That is
Mm-hmm.
what a business coach does, right?
Yeah.
Uh, in an entrepreneur's journey, there are like multiple obstacles, right? Multiple questions that they have to answer. For example, how to price their product, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Or which demographics or which geographies to target to market their product, right? There can be like so many decisions that you have to take, and each decision can literally lead you to a success or to a death, right? And that is where you need a business coach to help you, right? And it could be very small things also, right? So a few days back, there was this a new entrepreneur who came to me, and he was like, Rohit, I have been coaching my friends and family for about 5 years now. I'm realizing that, but I want to turn it into a profession, because there
Mm-hmm.
is no other way for me to earn money. But I don't know how to ask for money. I feel very shy in asking for money for the services that I render. Right? It could be as simple a problem as this, right? Uh, and such questions do not have a one-stop solution, right?
Yeah.
You have to understand why that person is feeling shy or hesitant in asking for money, right? You have to understand what is his view of the world, right? Does he genuinely want to to help people, or
Help
does he
people.
genuinely want to uh, make money, right?
Yeah.
And
Make a
sometimes
business. Yeah.
make a business, right? And
Yeah.
sometimes both of these things have to go hand in hand also, right?
Yeah.
So there are situations like this where a business coach can help you unravel what is going on in your mind. It's
Mm-hmm.
like a stormy sea, right? And he brings calm to it and helps you see your own reflection into it, so that you're able to understand what you really want, and then proceed from there, right? So overall, after those kind of discussions, the business coach can help you set up a plan of action. They can help you follow up on that plan of action. They can help you put in relevant reminders or
Mm-hmm.
checkpoints, so that you know whether you are on track or not. Okay. um, but the primary role is to discuss and debate, right? To align with your own values and customer proposition, right? Basically, to be able to clearly see what you want and what is
Mm-hmm.
really important for your business to proceed ahead, right? To progress ahead, right? That is typically what the role of a business coach is.
Yeah, that's true. Sometime it happened like when you start a business, you don't know how to ask for the money, and a lot of people really struggle with this thing. So now I want to know, how can a business coach help someone to scale up their business?
Scaling up businesses can be real tough, right? There are
Yeah.
so many variables. There is markets spread across geographies and demographics,
Yeah.
right? There are products. You can introduce more products, or you can introduce variant of the same product, right? Uh, you can tap a market deeper. Okay, let me take a few examples, right? So
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
example, um, let us say that you have a shoe brand, very simple. Okay, you want to scale up your shoe company. Okay, currently you are manufacturing shoes for athletes. Okay,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
uh, athletes being people who play a sport for their living, right? And they can
Yeah.
be men and women. Okay. Now, where do you go ahead next? Okay. Do you target kids who play similar sports? Okay. Or let's say, do you target people, men and women of a similar age group, but wanting to play a different sport? Okay. Or do you want to target men and women who simply want a walking shoe for their everyday purpose, right? So many decisions to make at this point of time. So many
Mm-hmm.
options to make a decision from at this point of time, right?
Yeah.
Some of your values align in kids. Some of your values align values and current data, which is available for men and women, like shoe size and fitment, is available for men and women. That means
Yeah.
that you can't go to kids, right? But athletic values definitely extend to kids, right? So what decision will you take at this point of time? Correct.
Mm-hmm.
These kind of situations, you have to understand what is more core to you, right? Whether it is athletic value, values of being true to athletic community, or values of being, being able to provide a good shoe to everyone in a particular segment, right? um, Decisions like these are make or break for your company, or at least for the scale up part. And that is
Mm-hmm.
what a business coach can help you solve, by looking at the data, by looking at your understanding of the business and what you really want to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, you can take one more example, right? So for example, the previous example that we took, I want to start a new business as a coach.
Shoes. Yeah.
uh, no, not the shoes one, the one as a coach, right?
Okay.
Right. So, for example, I'm coaching my friends and family, right? So, do
Mm-hmm.
I start a digital marketing campaign to target a similar age group, or do I
Mm-hmm.
ask for referrals from my friends and family? Right? These are the two approaches that you can take. You don't know which one will work, right? And you don't know which one will be more fruitful to you, which one you are more aligned with, right?
That's
So,
true.
all these things, when they come together in form of a question, they look like I don't know how to expand my business, right? And there are so many layers to it. There might be demographics layer, there might be geographical layer, there might be products layer, there might be pricing layer, there might be, different kind of layers that you might want to dig deep into to understand uh, what to do to be able to expand your business, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
coach can help you, see through this stormy sea, and understand what is core to your values, what is it that you would really be good in scaling up, and then take it forward from there. He can help you set up an action plan. So for example, if you decide to go with kids shoes, right, he can help you set up a plan that you will need to have a kids range ready in, say, 3 months from now, and these are the markets that you will launch. He can help you set up a complete plan. So that is how a business coach helps you.
I like it how you take the value and add on with the target market and sum up together. So, what is your biggest achievement as a business coach?
um, this is a juniors company that I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
They had been struggling with renewals. It was about 6 months back. They were really struggling with getting renewals from their customers. um, they had thought up of multiple scenarios. They thought that the product was highly priced. They thought that the customers don't like their service. They thought that maybe the product was an issue, that they could not book services very easily, kind of a thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we started working on the problem. We looked at like multiple data points. We looked at renewal rates. We looked at renewal rates across people and across services, right? But everything was so, I would say, unclear, that it did not make sense why people would not renew, right? So any customer that we reached out to, they were like, yeah, I like the services, I did not renew, right? That kind of a thing, right? Eventually you would not believe what the problem was. The
Mm-hmm.
problem was that they were trying to get the renewals through the service providers, right? So for example, I'll take an example of a salon.
Mm-hmm.
The therapist trying to renew you while he is giving you the treatment. They were following that kind of a model, right? So customer is not sure at that point of time whether his hair will look great or not, or whether he's going to benefit from the massage or not, and he's being put into a courtroom to renew at that point of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that was the major problem with their business, right? And they were like, if the therapist does not provide a good service, if the therapist is not responsible for renewal, he will not provide a good service, right? That was
Mm-hmm.
the thought process in their mind, right? But then we took examples of multiple companies, right? We took examples of salons in particular, for example, right? Um, we took examples of multiple other renewal subscription businesses, right? And I asked them one simple question, right? In any of these businesses, do you see the service provider being responsible for renewals, right? And the clear answer was no. Correct. So what we realized was that providing good service is one part of it, but getting renewal is another part of it, right? So
Yeah.
they set up so I helped them set up a complete process for making sure that the therapists are providing good service. So we introduced a star rating system for the services provided by the therapist, right? That was separated. We set up a complete renewal process where these guys put in dedicated members who reached out to people and asked for uh, renewals, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that process worked wonders, right? Their renewals grew 10x in less than 1 month of separating out these two processes, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that is I think one of my biggest success, because I was involved with them for like less than 3 hours, maybe 4 hours, maybe. But as soon as we came out of it, we immediately knew the solution, we implemented it, and the results came out in like less than a month, right? So they're very happy, they're scaling very fast, and it has been a good journey for them for the last 1 year now.
Yeah. Whoa, that was amazing, basically. And I can sense the challenges of a new business, basically. So I would like to know what are some true qualities in a business coach that must be there?
uh So see, it is very easy to say, but very difficult
Mm-hmm.
to practice. A business coach should be ready to listen, right? One of the things that we are taught in coaching is not to bring your view of the world, your map of the world into the business conversation, into the conversation with your client, right?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
have to really understand the view with which your client is looking at his business or her business, right? That is
yeah.
one of the most important things, right? So for example, for me as a person, it's very easy to ask for money for my services, right? It comes very naturally to me. Okay, I'm a Bania or Marwadi from Ajmer, right? I know how business works, right? But for the other person, it was who was getting coached from me, it was really really difficult, right? So I had
Mm-hmm.
to really listen very patiently, um, from her to understand what was going on, um, in her mind. Why was there so much reluctance to
Mm-hmm.
ask for money, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So having understood that, we worked out a few scenarios, we worked out a few challenges that she was facing, and then we came up to an action plan that she could follow, right? But if I was not listening, I would have shunned off the conversation in like less than a minute, saying, what is wrong with you? Why can't you ask for money? You are investing time and money, time and effort into what you're doing, and you can't ask
Yeah.
money for it, right? But
Mm-hmm.
that would not have solved that person's problem,
Yeah,
right? It
that's
would have
true.
been really difficult, right? So first skill that the person that the business coach has to possess is the ability to listen and understand other person's um, map of the world, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That is there's a famous saying, uh, a map is not a territory, right? That is what they teach us in coaching also, right? So
Mm-hmm.
your map is a correct map, but it may not represent the complete territory, right? Similarly,
Yeah.
other person's map is also a correct map, but it may not represent the correct complete territory, right? So you have to
Mm-hmm.
understand it from the other person's point of view. What is the map that they are
Yeah.
uh, looking at,
What they are
right?
coming
So
up with, yeah.
yeah, and of course, be ready to invest time in understanding what that person's challenges are, and second thing, as a business coach, also you should be ready to seek out help yourself. That is another important thing, right? So you may not understand completely about a business, right? But you may reach out to certain people who have been in that line of business, understand that business more properly to be able to help your clients well, right?
Mm-hmm.
These are the two important things that I find really important for a coach to practice, so that they can really
Mm-hmm.
help their um, clients and customers, and
Mm-hmm.
coaches or mentees, whoever they might be interacting with.
So I heard being neutral and a good listener is two of the main qualities in any kind of a coach you should admire, right?
Yes, you're being a very
Yeah.
good listener here.
Thank you. Any advice you would like to give to our audience today?
So my sense is that most of this audience would be people who are trying to start a business, or looking for business coaching in particular, right? Kind of my first advice to them is to take take the plunge, right? It's a big leap of faith that you're taking. Some people are trying to juggle their coaching with their businesses, with their current jobs, and trying to do freelance and all those things. But the first step that you need to take is to take the plunge. Be ready to say, yes, I want to do business, right?
Yeah.
uh, it is not going to happen by just sitting and thinking, oh, if I were to do this, that will happen, and that will happen, and then I will make a successful business out of it.
Mm-hmm.
When you jump, it's like driving a car, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can only know the thrill of driving a car by actually getting into a car and driving it, right? And for that, the first step could be as simple as you know sitting in the car and just rotating the wheel without rotating the steering wheel without actually trying to drive a car, right? And the second step could be actually going to a
Driving
driver's
school.
school, right?
Yeah.
Driving
Mm-hmm.
school, right? Getting your learner's license made, right? These are small steps that you can take, but the first step is to take the plunge and say that I'm going to drive, and go and sit in the car, right? Otherwise you are never going to learn driving. Similar thing with businesses, right? Incorporate your company. That could be very simple step, right? Or write a blog. That could be another very simple step, right? Make a website, or get someone to make a website for you, right? List your business on Google. That is like the bare minimum thing that you can do, right? Go to Google, list your business, right? So that people who are searching for, let's say, coaching, or for any product that you are trying to sell, it's a very simple step to take. And for example, if you're selling shoes, and anyone in your locality is looking for shoes, at least your business should turn up on Google, right? So
Yeah.
that is, print a flyer, right? Or circulate a simple WhatsApp message amongst your family, friends, right? That I'm starting this, would you be interested in? Create a survey, right? These are small steps that you can take to do business, right?
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes for the first step can be complex. It's not like as simple. For me, for example, I was trying to start a new business some time back, and my friend said, what have you been doing? It has been a month since told that idea to me, but you have not worked on it. And I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's such a big problem I can't solve. So he said, why don't you just pick up a paper about it and read, right? A research paper about it and read, right? And
Mm-hmm.
the simple step could be as simple as that. And you might need consultation, you might need advice for taking that simple step. Also, feel free to seek out that advice. That could be your first step,
Yeah.
right? So my advice, simple advice, is take the first step, take the plunge. Do not be afraid of failures. Failures will come and go. 100 tries make a successful person. So make sure that you do 100 tries before quitting. And I'm sure that by the time you do your maybe 30th try or 40th try, you will already be on your path to success.
Yeah, that was so amazing. Even you remind my journey when I was trying to drive the car. I got the license. I had a car, and but it took me 6 months to come on the main streets, like on the highways or any of the roads. So yeah, but I took the step, and then one day I took that courage to do it, to just like drive on the road and just yeah. There was some glitch when I was driving. There was like I stopped the car in the middle of a road for some second, but yes, after that the confidence come back. So yeah, first step and having that courage to do it is the most important thing. And I really admire the advice you just give to our audience. So before closing today's session, I would like to know how people can reach you or how people can contact you.
I am available on LinkedIn. Feel free to send me a message on LinkedIn, Rohitashwa Choudhary. You can also send me an email to rohitashwa@gmail.com.
Mm-hmm.
You can maybe put a comment. Is there a possibility of a comment on
Yeah,
this?
yeah, we will be
Yeah, you can.
available in a lot of platforms. So yeah, they can.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So multiple ways to reach out to me. Feel free. Simplest ways, rohitashwa@gmail.com, my first name @gmail.com. Just
Mhm.
send out a mail to me and I'll make sure that you get a response
Mhm.
as soon as possible. Yeah, I
Mhm.
typically respond to my emails in 24 hours. So
Mhm.
that is the easiest way to reach out to me. I have a
Perfect.
Facebook page also, Rohitash Choudhary. Instagram handle is musketeer1234. So feel free to reach out to me wherever you want.
Thank you, Rohit, for coming to our show and spreading some happiness and some lovely moments with us. It was Rohit Ashwa Chaudhary. So remember his name again, Rohit Ashwa Chaudhary. And don't forget to subscribe the Coaches Couch on different platforms. We are available on Facebook with the name of Worldwide Coaches Forum, and on Spotify and YouTube with the name of the Coaches Couch. So make sure if you want to contact Rohit, you can even leave the comment on messages there as well, so he can get back to you. Thank you very much, and have a nice day.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks,